Продолжаем хайпить.
John Wesley Hardin was a killer. By the end, he confessed to taking the lives of 42 men, fathers and husbands, brothers and sons, men with families who cared about them. He was a bona fide folk hero by then, and had amassed a gang of armed miscreants and other assorted thugs. He and his men set up camp outside of town, and I was hoping Bob was among them.
Shit, it's cold out here. Freezing my giblets off. Ain't right, we gotta stay out here keeping watch like this. Ain't nobody stupid enough to go after Hardin anyway.
Better 3 hours early than a minute too late.
Кому идиоту придет в голову атаковать нас? Ну да.
Damn it! Shoot that son of a bitch!
They didn't ask why I was there.
Спрашивали зачем?
They knew, as most of them were wanted as well. I figured Hardin was here somewhere, but to get to him, I'd have to get past his gun hands. And that was easier said than done, as most of them were as foolish and full of bravado as I was. I had to spill a lot of blood to find out Hardin wasn't in that camp. He was carousing in town with his closest friends. Hardin's boys apparently didn't want me to reach the Bull's Head. Some were hightailing it into town to inform their Jefe of my unwelcomed presence.
You better hide! Get me! Well, that's a first. By the farm. That's right. Run!
Тихард сложность. Всего 3 типа патронов, тут вам не РДР.
Damn it! Shoot that son of a bitch!
Магазин.
Die already!
Беги.
You just dodged the damn bullet? Sorry, son of a bitch!
Tell Hardin someone's coming for him.
Stop that son of a bitch!
Дaniel.
Let the boys know we got another law dog.
Куда?
I wondered if Bob was among them.
Был ли среди них Боб? Не похоже. Звезды или нет?
And I steeled myself for the fight ahead. For as good as I was,
Несмотря на то, что я
deep
был
down I
хорошим
wondered if
стрелком,
John
глубоко внутри
Wesley
я
wasn't
беспокоился,
just
что
a
Джон
little
Уэсли
bit
окажется
better.
на каплю лучше.
Before I could test my mettle against Hardin, however, I would first need to dispatch his cadre of hired killers. Most of these degenerates were beyond redemption, but John Wesley might have been a different story. I didn't learn until later that that night was in fact his birthday celebration. I think I already mentioned that I found Hardin in this very saloon.
По секрету.
Suffice it to say, nobody there was happy to see me.
Да, нам не рады.
Can't get a good shot at it.
Asshole just killed Red? Yeah, you can't beat me.
Damn him.
You bastard!
That's right. Shoot him! Shoot him!
Middle ain't that sucker! He's cutting us down like a horse! Can't believe you keep missing.
Да.
In fact, I felt a certain hostility.
Некоторая враждебность имела место.
I was disappointed that neither Bob nor John Wesley were among the dead.
Ни Боба, ни Харди.
But that was short-lived, as a moment later I was facing down the fastest gun in the West.
Убил человека за хард, а 40 просто за то, что дышали.
I felt a bolt of adrenaline. Or maybe that was fear. He was well known for his tricks, and I knew I'd need my own if I was ever to defeat him. No, wait! He didn't hit me then. I'm sure of it.
Да не попал.
That man was faster than greased lightning. But being inebriated as he was, he didn't count his shots. And now, he was at my mercy.
So he didn't die?
No, I sent him to prison. Years later, after he was free, some restless Avenger took his life. Shot him in the back in a saloon just like this one. Anybody up for another beer? Ben? Thank you, darling. Yeah, some say revenge is a dish best served cold.
So whatever happened to that Bob guy you were after?
Personally, I'd like to hear some of your other adventures. Like, I don't know, do you ever go toe to toe with a red man?
Yes, I did, Ben. I remember once I was after this renegade Apache, Grey Wolf. Strangely enough, revenge was also his primary motivation. A bounty was put on Grey Wolf's head, and that's how I came to hunt him in the mountains. Mountains so high they tickle the nether regions of heaven. Grey Wolf was a Chiricahua Apache medicine man who had led a war party in revenge for a massacre against his people. The U.S. Army had attacked his tribe during his daughter's sacred sunrise ceremony, and the slaughter was unspeakable. I understood his anger, as there's nothing more traumatic than seeing those you love die in a cruel and painful death. Right from the beginning, I couldn't shake the feeling that Grey Wolf was watching my every move. He led a band of young Apache warriors who wanted retribution and were more than willing to die for him. crossed my mind that maybe this wasn't such a good idea. But now that the shooting had started, there was no backing down. I saw them before they saw me. It was rugged country, the winter home of the Cherokees, and that's why they had retreated there. I admit to having some regrets about going after them the way I did. But then again, I got a lot of those.
Did you find Grey Wolf?
Not at that moment, but I did find the entrance to their hideout. A deep crevice that led to a deeper cave.
Don't tell me you went in there.
Yeah, but it's not out of bravery so much as pure, angry cussedness. See, back then, I had a stubborn streak a mile wide, and I wasn't about to back down.
So it was like pitch black in there?
Actually, it was pretty well lit, as they had torches on the walls.
How big was his cave?
Big as hell, Ben. Chiricahua had hid out there during the Indian Wars. They thought it was haunted with the ghosts of those murdered by the horse soldiers.
The cave was haunted with dead Indian ghosts?
To be honest, I was more concerned with the live ones than the dead ones.
How come you know so much about engines?
A few years back, I was married to two Mescalero women.
At the same time?
Yeah, they were sisters. Polygyny is traditional among the Mescalero.
So what happened?
Oh, I had to get out of there. Those girls never shut up. Both of them nagging at me all the time. Drove me half crazy. Haven't seen them since.
No, I mean, what happened with Grey Wolf?
Oh, well, I pursued him into the Cave of Death. I came upon this flooded grotto, and that's when I saw him. He came to me unarmed and unafraid. His voice echoed in the shadows, and I sensed he meant me no harm.
You carry great darkness in your heart, and if you do not release it, it will claim your soul.
The sound of his voice put some kind of ancient Indian spell on me. As his story unfolded in my mind,
You will come to this place again and kill many more men, and the darkness will grow until it consumes everything that you are. The soul would have no rainbow if the eye had no tears.
he said I was a great warrior, a coyote man, unequaled by any other pale-faced warrior, or something like that.
The snakes will bite shadows of your past until a venom poisons your heart, and an echo of the song of the dead summons the spirits deep from within the mountains.
I didn't quite get what he was saying, but there was definitely snakes. And indeed, his warriors surrounded me and attacked me like hungry wolverines. They couldn't stop me, though, and Grey Wolf wasn't in the mood for idle talk. I swear I couldn't see any way out of this trap. But suddenly, one just appeared. Kind of like a miracle. I felt like I would be lost in that damn cave forever. Finally, I found myself back outside, perched on the edge of a precipice, overlooking a thundering whitewater river. To get where I was going required several leaps of faith, but no way in hell I was turning back. I chased after him, determined to make him explain the meaning of all that mumbo-jumbo.
Mumbo-jumbo is right. Are you making this all up as you go?
A few details may be fuzzy, brother, but I am relating exactly what happened to me. There were dozens of Apache warriors aiming at me from on high.
Dozens.
Well, maybe not dozens, but there was a lot of them.
At least 3 or 4.
Well, more than that a little later. I had a steep climb up creek ahead of me and scrambled up those rocks like a mountain goat. I was determined to locate Grey Wolf and find out exactly what the hell he was trying to tell me. And wouldn't you know it, that crafty son of a bitch led me right into a trap.
What kind of trap?
Well, son, there had to be at least 100 Apaches surrounding me.
100?
God be my witness.
Oh, come on. Who you kidding?
Hey, I believe you. Come on, tell us how it ended.
All right, but I'm not gonna drag this out. Where were we?
You were surrounded by 100 Apache warriors.
Well, I didn't take the time to count them exactly, but there were a lot of them. And in the end, a path appeared before me that I had not seen before. I followed it as I desperately needed to find out what Grey Wolf was trying to tell me. but it was like that son of a bitch disappeared into thin air. Never did find him. And never did collect my goddamn bounty. Thank you, darling. It's interesting how the truth can sometimes seem might malleable, depending upon your point of view.
Like how those dime novels make you out to be something you're not?
Jack, don't be starting trouble.
No, he's right. They do tend to exaggerate.
Did they exaggerate your part in taking down the Daltons?
Well, I was there in the flesh, boy, so I saw what happened firsthand. Those Daltons were lawmen once, before they all went bad, robbing banks and trains clear across the territory. Until Coffeeville, of course. I was one of the citizens who took up arms that day.
Fighting on the side of the right?
I did my best, sir. We all did. It was early morning. One of my friends was a local gunsmith, and he handed out firearms to anybody who'd take one. You see, the Daltons got it in their heads to rob two banks at the same time. Two banks on the same damn street. Story was Bob Dalton's girl was always writing him about how he had no ambition. Oh, you're nobody next to Jesse James, she'd say. Finally, the bastard took his brothers to Coffeeville just to shut her up.
Right. It's always the woman's fault.
Well, the locals recognized the Daltons right off. Before they could get away, half the town took up arms to defend their property. Their first mistake was pulling a job in their own damn hometown. The boys grew up in Coffeeville, so everybody knew them. The bank teller tricked them, telling them the time lock on the safe wouldn't open till 9:30. Well, that gave the locals enough time to prepare an ambush for those sons of bitches.
Hey, we got us a hero. Put some holes in him!
The brothers paid dearly for their stupidity, but everybody knows they had it coming.
There's more to it than that. I read all about that day, so I know for a fact that it went down very differently. First of all, it was high noon. A posse of U.S. deputy marshals were on the rooftop across the street.
Get ready, boys. They're gonna make a move.
The lawmen had been tracking the Daltons for months. Now they finally had them dead to rights. Among them was a bounty hunter feared by many a lawbreaker. This man had no intention of letting the Daltons slip away. The marshals tried to get the Daltons to surrender.
They'll give up eventually. We just gotta wait to send the bitches out.
This bounty hunter knew that the brothers were far too proud to ever lay down their guns. He went in there alone to confront those criminals. One of the marshals shouted, "Where are you going? Are you crazy?"
Hey, where do you think you're going, dumbass? That rifle's mine.
But he paid him no mind. He saw a way to get around to the back of the bank. Then he figured out how to hit the Daltons from a direction they weren't expecting. From above. Fortunately, a water tower was right there. A moment later, he was climbing up a steep ladder, laughing at danger as he did. It was brave men like him who risked their lives to tame this wild country.
We've got company.
Heroic men like him, who did what other men couldn't or wouldn't to make this country free. Jim Bowie and Davy Crockett, who died defending the Alamo.
Юлампи. Ай. Ну, игра, как видишь, вестерн.
Is that Silas Greaves? Son of a bitch!
Спагетти вестерн. Если быть точным. 13-го года.
Come on, kill him! That's right. Run!
Ивент Роблоксе проходили, небось. Понимаю.
I ain't backing down.
Никогда такого не было. Но нет. Дикий Запад.
We've got company. Now you're in. Is that Silas Greaves? Son of a bitch! Rule the day. And I thought I was good. Yeah, you know you can't beat me.
that
Можно
asshole
самому
just
от
kill
пули
Red?
уклоняться. Ёл. Кофе-виль.
Over there!
Не успел.
What the heck? That's Silas Greaves! What the hell?
Blam! Blam! He came away victorious, taking down those thieving Daltons.
Can't hide forever!
Это, кстати, высокая сложность.
Over there!
Лучше.
That's Silas Greaves! What the hell?
Вот так.
His name was Silas Greaves. And when the dust finally settled,
Разгрызся, когда наконец
he
осела
was the
пыль, он был
last man
единственным, кто
standing.
стоял на ногах.
Sorry, kid, but that just wasn't the way
Ничего
it happened.
подобного там не было. Брешут люди.
It was early evening, not high noon.
И начал клониться к закату.
I was late to the party, and Coffeeville was already up in arms.
Пытался за оружие.
Daltons blew up the
Далтоны
safe.
взорвали сейф,
We're
были
all set
готовы
to
вот-вот
hightail it
умчаться
out of there.
оттуда.
Those pathetic deputies surrounding the bank
Законники,
were dropping
окружившие
like
банк, мерли
flies.
как мухи. Игорь, любовник, лох, братья Далтоны.
I had been tracking those jokers for months, waiting for them to do something reckless.
Come on, smoke that son
And
of a-
finally, they did. Those stupid bastards decided to rob two banks at the same time in the same town where everybody knew them. But they still had friends in Coffeeville.
Помер, что
You can't get me.
you can't hit.
Too good for 'em.
Игра 2013 года, графика тупо топ. Где?
Put some holes in 'em.
Those friends came after me like a pack of wild dogs, tooth and nail.
Против
They were
вцепились
coming
в
at me from
собак,
all
нападали со
directions.
всех сторон.
I caught sight of the
Но
Daltons
когда
running
Алтон
with
с
the money and
деньгами
didn't want
убегает,
to
не
lose it.
хотел выпустить их.
Problem was,
Проблема
they
заключалась
knew
в
the
том, что он
town
знали
better
город
than I
лучше, чем
did.
я.
And to top it off, I found myself in the middle of another shootout
Другой
entirely.
перестрелки.
did the Daltons pull up in somebody's house?
No, it was the Smiths, I believe.
Были Смиты.
They were cousins
Они
of the
приходили с
Daltons,
кузенами.
and they were shooting at the Browns, who were shooting at the Daltons, which wasn't any surprise because those two families have been feuding forever. And since the Joneses are related to the Browns, they shot at the Smiths,
Солнце
pissing off the
Смитов,
Heimhoffers, whose
Heimhoферы.
daughter recently married a Smith. Well, bullets were flying every which way as all the old feuds in Kansas caught fire all at once. There was a hell of a lot of pissed off people in Coffeyville that day. But that's just the way life is sometimes. Shit happens.
Тут темно, тут нифига не видно. Секрет. Ну-ка. А как насчет... Ну, кстати, сделать 2 прицела и не палить в одну точку.
You or me?
Прикольная перезарядка.
The Dalton boys knew I would never give up.
Не сдамся.
Those Daltons weren't the sharpest knives in the drawer, but they always stood together. They set a trap to slow me down and allow at least 2 of them to escape. The third brother stayed behind to plant me, just in case that trap of theirs didn't work. It was Emmett, the youngest, and he decided to stand his ground and face me down.
I ain't afraid of you, Silas Reeves. This is where it ends for you.
He was determined to protect his brothers. I understood how he felt. Taking me on all by his lonesome wasn't exactly a recipe for a long life.
I'll blow your damn head clean off! A coward and a cheater.
Ладно, складку не обязательно подрубать.
I'm gonna tear you apart.
Убить.
You ain't getting by me, Reeves. You messed with the wrong damn Dalton. Next time I won't miss. Send you to the moon. Is that all you got? Gonna beat you like a red-headed stepchild. bastard! You messed with the wrong damn dog.
А почему стоит? Ну, вкладка нужна, когда я средний онлайн набирал. Сейчас он все равно низкий и уже не нужен.
I'm gonna tear you apart! Why can't you die already? I'm gonna cut you in half! It's hog killing time. God damn! Wow. You are dead, Lotto!
Ну, зато обычные враги умирают, но этот необычный, он у него повысится
With the
КП.
wrong damn dog. Is that all you got? I'm gonna tear you apart! Almost! I'm gonna plant you where you stand!
Да, матрица. Первый раз у меня было много замедлений, сейчас его нет.
You ain't getting by me, Green! I'll blow your damn head clean off! You ain't getting by me, Green! You are dead, Law Dog! Gonna send you to the bone orphan! You messed with the wrong damn dog!
But Emmett
Наконец.
Dalton survived the
Эммет
robbery in
выжил после ограбления в
Coffeyville.
кофе,
He's the only
единственный из
Dalton who
Далтонов.
did.
They say he was shot
Говорят, в него
23
попали 23
times.
раза.
Well, Dwight, who do you
Кто,
think put
по-твоему,
all those
понаделал в
damn
нем
holes
столько
in it?
дырок?
But I have to admit,
Должен признать, у парня была
that boy
железная
had
воля.
grit.
Все еще охотник за головами. За много лет Сайлас Гриф стал знаменитым охотником. Главной целью, однако, был правильно.
We'll get those suckers.
It took me a couple of
Get those
days to
suckers.
track the Daltons down.
Это Миссури через
They
день
can't get
после
away
неудачного
with this.
ограбления банка.
And in that time, a whole
Стало
posse
хотел
of
свою
local
помощь
vigilantes
целый
offered
отряд
to lend a
местных
hand.
дружинников.
We'll track him to the ends of the earth.
They seemed as determined as me to find those outlaws. But as we headed into those swamps, it was like I had my own private army. There was no way those boys were getting away this time.
It was early fall, right? Beautiful
Была
time of
ранняя осень,
year.
красивый парк.
At least you had the weather
Погода
on your
была на
side.
вашей стороне.
Not by my
Только
recollection.
я помню, нет, было
It was
чертовски
damp and
сыро.
foggy as
Стоял
hell.
плотный туман.
It was tough to stay on a true
Тем не
course,
менее, важно было не
so we kept an eye out for
направление.
landmarks.
Приходилось следить за ориентирами.
It was autumn.
Была осень,
Maple
клены
trees were in
стояли во
full
всем
color,
великолепии, красные
red
словно
as
кровь.
blood. The rains that year were torrential.
Дожди в тот год лили
So the whole
листва, так
area
что
was
все вокруг
flooded.
было затоплено.
The vigilantes had spread
Жулики
out
широко
wide, and pretty
рассредоточились,
soon
и
I
вскоре
couldn't
я
see
уже никого не
anybody.
видел.
Bury them in the swamp. Let them where they stand.
Except for some bitches ahead of me wanting to do me harm. So I had to face them alone. I wondered why my compatriots didn't come running when they heard the shots.
Damn him to hell. It's you or me.
Или как выбраться с этого болота?
So did you find the Daltons?
Not yet. But I did have the questionable pleasure of meeting a few of their friends.
Никак. Изи.
The boys had established quite a
Время
reputation by
создали себе
that time,
репутацию,
so they
поэтому
attracted
привлекли
all
под свое
manner
начало
of
всякое
riffraff to their
отребье.
cause.
Put a bullet in.
Потом болтает. Хорошо, бахнул.
Point being, I
Суть
was
была в
under
том, что я
serious
был под
attack.
серьезной атакой. В чем суть игры?
Now you're dead.
Диалог другой. Был мини-босс.
And my reinforcements was nowhere to be seen.
Крепления было не видать.
Kill that goddamn bounty hunter.
Наказывать ковбоев. Это не ковбои, это бандиты. Алый так сказать. Пусть мне тут дырочку накликали.
That beat us all. He shot Bill.
А нет, он застрелил Билла. Хоть не тени.
Show yourself.
Э-э-э. Чё?
You're a dead man.
Меня чуть не заджага-джагали. Наказывать ботов. Да, ботам не повезло на
But
это.
luckily, a barn materialized as if right before my eyes. I scrambled up top to get a
Чтобы
better
дать лучшую
view.
позицию для...
but just ended up falling inside.
So,
Это
how
даже
did
лучше,
you
чем
get
Red Dead
out?
Redemption
The
2.
barn doors was open.
Дверям были
About right then, I saw some suspicious characters running through the bushes. Of course, I followed them.
Само собой, я последовал за ними.
But that goddamn swamp was like a
Болото было как
goddamn
чертов
maze, and
лабиринт,
pretty soon I had
который я
no
уже ни черта
goddamn
не
idea
представлял
where I
себе, где
was.
я, черт побери, нахожусь.
Steve,
Это храпит. Стив.
so I just started
Поэтому просто
walking, and
двинулся
pretty
вперед, и
soon
вскоре
Oh,
это храпят зрители на стриме. То, что два прохода.
oh.
И в лампе слышно храп.
Steve,
Стив.
Steve,
Huh? Oh, no, I'm listening.
Indians
Да,
surrounded
я
me
слушаю.
from all sides.
Индейцы окружили меня со всех сторон. Или индейцы здесь?
Indians? There were Indians.
No, I just wanted to make sure Steve was paying attention.
Какие индейцы?
Now, where
На
was
чем я
I?
остановился?
You were following the Daltons through a swamp?
That's right. See, Steve? Dwight's paying attention.
Oh, I'm listening. I was just
Да, Егор
resting my
слышал тоже
eyes.
внимательно.
So, where was I?
The Daltons.
Right. See, there's a reason so many outlaw
Очень многие
gangs
банды
are made up
состояли
of
из
brothers.
братьев, и на то есть
Being a
причина.
brother is a
Родство
very
священное
sacred
и
thing.
нерушимое.
It's a bond like no
Связывал как
other.
ничто другое. Красное болото с пороховыми бочками. Но каждый уровень тут все-таки имеет какую-то уникальность.
Bounty hunters! Stop that, son bitch!
Так. Чик-чик.
So did you ever find the damn Daltons?
Not yet. But I did find a few of their cousins. You Kansans breed like rabbits. More Smiths or Heimhoffers or who knows what. But hell, what's more important than family? I bet Ben knows what I'm talking about.
God damn you!
Второго тоже, что ли, забил?
Send him to hell!
Хоть быстро зарядил. Да, не очень прицельно. Да. И саундтрек прикольный.
Waste your bullets. Go ahead.
О, супер бронированный чел.
Keep shooting. I don't mind.
Damn. Не догадались поставить бронестекло в дверь сортира. Тупо нифига не видно.
Get me.
Что это мне вещи носит?
In for the kill. Oh, so you're hiding too now.
И это тоже питание. Норм, автоприцел сработал. И пожалуйста,
I'm gonna blow your damn head off.
I knew those Dalton boys were out there somewhere, standing together against
Right.
anyone who would threaten them.
даже стрелочку.
And that's when I saw it. A goddamn steamboat.
Лютый пароход.
A steamboat in a swamp?
Yeah, Steve, but this
Ну,
wasn't
пароход
much
был
more
уже
than
весь
a wreck,
разбит.
really.
But how'd a damn
Как чертов
steamboat
пароход
end
мог
up in the
попасть в болото?
swamps? Guess it floated off during the flood
По-моему,
of
занесло сюда во
89.
время наводнения
Now, was it a
80-х.
stern
Внесло его было
wheeler
сзади или
or
сбоку.
side?
What? Does that
Важно,
really make a difference,
это
Steve?
был пароход с
It was
чертовой
a
армией на
steamboat
борту.
with a goddamn army on board. It was then that a fusillade of bullets come raining down from on high, and those vigilantes who accompanied me weren't anywhere to be found. But among those men that were shooting at me, I thought I saw some familiar faces.
I'm ending you.
Это не круто. Йо. Ходы старого запада.
Somewhere up there, the Daltons were waiting on me.
Дали Далтон. Голова.
Sounds like you don't give up too easy.
That's the kind of man I am, Ben.
Ты уж я человек, если
I set out
принимаю
to
за
do
дело, я его
something.
завершаю.
I do it. Surrender just ain't in my nature.
Это я понимаю.
Plus, I'm stubborn as hell.
Гатлин Кеннон. Пострелять туда.
You better hide.
Right.
Did that asshole just kill Red? Right about then,
Ему
much
облегчение
to my
снова показались
relief,
дружинники.
the vigilantes finally arrived. Their leader motioned at a cabin in the middle of the top deck, pointing me directly at the Daltons. I finally had them,
Наконец-то я достал их
after
после
months
месяцев
of
упорного
dogged pursuit.
преследования. Подозрительно.
But it turned out that they had me.
Take him out! I'm sending you to hell!
Вали его, отправлю его в ад.
The Daltons had
Далтон
played me
взял
like
меня
a
вокруг
fiddle.
пальца, стало очевидно, что
Apparently, the
друзья были с ними
vigilantes were on
заодно.
their damn payroll. They didn't just want to shoot me.
Ой,
They wanted to
хотели
burn
сжечь
me
меня заново.
alive. But finding my way out of a
Найти
burning
выход из
labyrinth
горячего лабиринта
proved to be
оказалось
quite a
It
challenge.
was a riverboat, right? I mean, it's not like it was a goddamn ocean liner.
Well, yeah, but I was in a
Did you
fight.
hear about that ship that's gonna launch next year? Largest one in the world.
Пошли там корабли.
You're talking about the Titanic. If you ask me, it's too blessed
Я
big.
считаю, что он чрезмерно большой.
So anyway,
Don't be stupid,
Это
Steve.
дело
They know what
относительно
they're
знают,
doing.
что
They
делать,
say
говорят,
that the
Титаник будет
Titanic is unsafe.
непотопляемым.
oh God.
But getting back to that steamboat, how'd you get off it, Mr. Greaves?
I took in a lot of smoke that day, so I admit my recollection might be a bit hazy. But somehow I managed to finally disembark. I was coughing up smoke and pretty damn
Кашлял
pissed.
дым был
I
чертов
was done
сезон,
playing games
застала
with those
играть в игры
boys.
с этими парнями.
It was time to settle this once and for all.
Итак. Коничего, Бастер. Согрелся. Так, а бочек-то уже нету.
Bob and Grat weren't about to come at me one at a time. They were in this together. Two brothers side by side, determined to take me down. Confident that this time the odds were on their side.
Бесчестная победа.
Two brothers side by side, determined to take me down. Confident that this time the odds were on their side. They got it wrong. A
Ошиблись,
sad
печальный
end for those
конец для
two.
этих двоих.
If they'd only
Да, они
known that
только
Emmett
знали,
was
что
still
Эммет
alive
жив,
despite his
несмотря на раны.
wounds. Paroled 14 years later.
Освобожденный
He
словом
moved to
через 14 лет
California
он
and
приехал
sold
в
real
Калифорнию,
estate and
стал
lived off
продавать
the legend
недвижимость,
of that
жил за счет
fateful day.
легенды о том судьбоносном дне.
And the tragic death of his
Трагической
two
смерти
brothers.
двух его братьев.
My own brothers died
Правда,
tragically
мои
as
братья тоже
well, truth
трагически
be told.
погибли. Шайка.
It was 1868, and me and my older
Мы со
brothers
старшими
were pulling
братьями
a
в 68
tidy profit
зарабатывали
running
большие деньги,
cattle into
догоняя скот в
Juarez,
Хуарес, штат
Mexico.
Мехико.
One night after my
Однажды
brothers
ночью,
retired
после
for the
того, как
evening,
мои братья пошли
I found a
спать,
little
я зашел
poker
на
game in a
забегаловку, подсел
cantina
к
with a
паре
couple of
ковбоев сыграть в
cowboys.
покер.
And I just
Просто
couldn't
не мог
lose.
проигрывать.
I even won an old
Я даже
Spanish
выиграл
coin that had
старую
to be
испанскую
100
монету,
years
которой
old.
должно было быть не меньше 100 лет.
Well,
Поэтому
I
на
was mighty
следующее утро
pleased with
я был очень
myself the
доволен
next morning
собой,
as
как
my
и мои
brothers and
братья,
I rode for
отправился в
Texas.
Техас.
But before we
Не успели
crossed
мы
the
пересечь
border, those
границу, как эти
cowboys caught
ковбои
up with
нагнали
us.
нас.
It was Johnny
Там были Джонни
Ringo, Roscoe
Рингер, Роско
Bob
Боб
Bryant, and
Брайант и еще
another
один
asshole
подонок приезжий.
named Jim.
Хотели
They
вернуть
wanted
свои
their
деньги и
money
все
back and
остальное, что у нас
everything
было.
else we had, including our lives,
И
as
наши
those
жизни.
boys didn't want us coming for them later. Bob put that old Spanish coin in my mouth and said, "I won't have it said that I left you with nothing, boy." Well, those horses bolted, and there we hung as those bastards rode away. The branch finally snapped under the weight of the three of us, but being my older brothers were bigger and heavier, they were already dead. And right then I swore to myself that I would avenge them. Ringo you know about. But Bob eluded me, until I heard he was riding with the Wild Bunch.
Не самое удачное ограбление поезда. Возглавляя Бутчем Кэссиди и Санденсом Тидом, дикая банда была самой знаменитой. Дикая банда, значит. Банч.
I'd been on their trail for
Пошел
months,
следам несколько
ever
месяцев,
since they left their
как они
hideout in the
покинули
Bighorn
свое
Mountains.
убежище в горах Биг
Led by Butch Cassidy.
Вайоминга.
They were a
Трудно
loose
сборище
association of
преступников,
outlaws who robbed banks and trains from Colorado to Montana. Among them was the Sundance Kid and that murderous hombre I was tracking, Roscoe Bob Bryant.
Were you a part of that giant Pinkerton posse after the
эту
Wild
огромную
Bunch?
толпу
No,
Пинкертонов.
boy.
Нет, парень, это
A circus
бродячий
like that
цирк
would
мне
have
бы только
slowed me
замедлил.
down.
Кроме того, я
Besides,
хотел
I wanted Bryant
самолично
all
разобраться
to
с Брайантом.
myself. I'd heard about a
Нашел
large
большая
shipment of gold being
партия золота,
transported to
которую должны были
Wilcox,
перевезти в
Wyoming on the
Уилкокс,
Overland
штат
Flyer.
Вайоминг.
I figured the Wild
Должно,
Bunch
что
would
дикая
likely
банда
hit
ни за
such
что
a
не
treasure, and
пропустит.
by God, I
Такое
figured
сокровище,
right.
я, черт побери, был прав.
They blew the
Они
bridge
взорвали
with the
мост, намереваясь
intention of
заставить
forcing the
поезд
train to
остановиться.
stop. Well, I assumed the Wild
Потому что я
Bunch was
решил,
likely in the
дикая
still
банда, скорее
intact
всего,
part of the
находится в
train high
части
above,
поезда высоко.
so I had no choice but to make my way up
Поэтому
through the
осталось
passenger
выхода,
cars
кроме как
dangling down.
пробираться через висящие вагоны.
I was determined to make that sumbitch Bob pay for what he did to my
Попробую
brothers.
заплатить за то, что он делал с моими братьями. Ич. Мышень. Правил. Мэдисон Боуштед, Вайомингса. Первой секции номер 1 ограблена в миле к западу от Уилкокса. Багажный вагон взорван, почтовый поврежден, сейф взорван. Содержимое пропало. Офис ЖД компании Union Pacific Railroad. Махи, штат Небраска, ответил на это предложение в награду в $1000 за каждого грабителя поезда, живого или мертвого. Позже аналогичное предложение сделала и компания Pacific Express, которой принадлежал сейф. Также поступило и правительство США, подняв общую награду за каждого преступника до 3000. Таким образом, общая награда за всех 6 бандитов составила 18 тысяч, в пересчете на сегодняшний день составляет 380 тысяч долларов. Через 7 часов после ограбления на место преступления прибыл специально оснащенный поезд, полный людей, лошадей, провизии и оборудования. Отряд, высланный Union Pacific Railroad, был единственным. Его сопровождали детективы из Берлингтон Railroad, Пинкертоны и местные стражи закона. Губернатор Вайоминга, группа ополчения. Через 24 часа отряд для преследования составлял уже 100 человек, и все тщетно. Ограбление было делом рук банды дыра в стене. К тому же, взрывая сейф, они повредили мост. Как обычно, у них был безупречный план побега. Харви Логан, известный как Кит Карри, его наставник Джордж Плосконосый Карри, определенно были среди грабителей и застрелили одного из преследователей. Клиффа Хейзела. Невозможно утверждать, участвовал ли в ограблении мозг операции лидер банды Буч Кэссиди, но Гэри Лонгбоу, который Сэнденс, и высокий техасец Бен Патрик и Уилл Карвер, вероятнее, туда в течение десятка лет все преступники поезда Уилкокси погибли в перестрелке. Так, надо бы и горло промочить.
My ears are still ringing from blowing up that ridge. What'd you say? I can't hear a goddamn thing.
Well, I made my way off unscathed and came upon a few members of the gang and had no choice but to dispatch them.
Shit! Silas Greaves! What the hell?
From there, I had to negotiate an even more precarious route.
Run, but you can't hide.
But first, I would need to get my ass out of there. I jumped from the frying pan into the fire as the train was clearly fixing to fall. I had found the gang, but in order to find old Bob, I needed to fight my way forward past a whole passel of desperados. Outside, inside, any way I could, I made my way towards my prey.
Now you're really pissing me off. You're dead.
Well, what about the passengers?
It was mostly a freight train, as I recall. There were no passengers aboard that day.
God damn it! Shoot him! Did you see them? You maniac! God damn him!
Come and get me, you got the guts!
Okay, now you're really pissing me off.
As I mentioned before, I am not fond of heights. But I was too busy dodging bullets to worry about falling to my death. Odds were I was likely to die that day anyway. So I was determined to take down as many of those bastards as I could.
Brother, I'm gonna make you pay for that. You bastard! You can't hide from me. I can kill you with either hand. You just met your match.
Dead. So are you.
At times, it was like shooting ducks in a shooting gallery. The only difference is these damn ducks shot back. I kept hoping the law would show up and give me a hand.
You mean like that giant Pinkerton posse that I read about? Did they come riding in, guns a-blazing to help?
Help? From the Pinkertons? No, son. I had to fight the wild bunch all by my lonesome, as usual.
Who the hell is that? Run! He's out of his mind! Ah! Take cover! Retreat! Retreat! Ah! He's killing everybody! He'll kill us all! Run! Did that asshole just kill Red?
My guess is those dime novels didn't portray this as it happened, did they? Only a few stragglers were left. I had to cut them down pronto if I was going to stay on old Bob's trail.
If you want to live!
Once I silenced all those guns, I went searching for my nemesis, determined to finally have my justice. But the only survivor who welcomed me was George Flat-Nose Curry.
Who was he?
The fastest gun in the gang. Right after Sundance, I mean. And Kid Curry, and maybe Elsie Lay. Though some folks might dispute that. On that very same day, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid decided to leave the Wild Bunch behind and decamped for South America. They ended up living down there for many years, but I'm sure you already know all about that. I tried to find Bob Bryant, but it was as if he'd disappeared. Sometime later, I heard the Wild Bunch was back together. Kid Curry escaped from jail, and now he was running the whole shebang. So I took to their trail, as I was still in pursuit of my brother's killer and hoped that he was back with him.
That Kid Curry's kinda crazy, ain't he?
Don't let him hear you saying that.
Anyways, I tracked those boys to a camp right outside Parachute, Colorado.
Who's shooting at you? We're under fire!
Being outnumbered, I didn't bother with a warning shot. I just started taking those bastards down.
I'm into you!
Old Bob wasn't among them, and neither was Kid Curry. I could sense him close by, however, plotting something nasty. I just needed a clue as to their whereabouts. And I found one. A map with their bold plan clearly marked. This time they were fixing to blow up a train trestle. Property of the Union Pacific. The plan clearly indicated how they were fixing to undermine several of the weakest wooden supports. Kid Curry was considered the wildest of the Wild Bunch. It was said that he fathered 85 bastard children, though some say it was only 5. Kid Curry had bragged to a whore how he was going to rob a train heading to the U.S. Mint in Denver. And that whore, Fat Sally, she told me. The bridge was rigged with dynamite, so I decided I'd best be careful confronting those bastards. And I made it a point to remove any dynamite that I came across. A moment later, I saw a ladder that somehow had escaped my attention.
Don't you blow us up now. Don't worry, I know what I'm doing.
But the Wild Bunch did not take kindly to my presence and attempted to blow my head off. It appeared the kid had found a number of new recruits to bolster their ranks. Guess there's always desperate men willing to trade their lives for stolen treasure.
What happened next?
Well, having removed the first bundle of dynamite, I decided I might as well remove the other one. Once that was done, I figured I'd find my way from there.
Brother, I'm gonna make you pay for that. Don't let him get away with it. Put him down! Damn ears are ringing. Now you're really pissing me off. You ain't seen the likes of me. You just brought hell. Got this coming.
So, what happened then?
Had to remove more of that damn dynamite.
It must have been terrifying trying to make your way across.
I was sweating it a bit, but then I noticed a footbridge tied up on high, so I shot the rope.
Now you're really pissing me off.
Give it up now, and I'll let you go.
So that was all the dynamite?
Funny you should mention that, darling. There was a fourth charge impeding my progress. Once I removed it, my path was pretty clear.
I'm ready for a belly full of butt shot. Stop that. Damn, so are you. Damn. If I'm going out, I'm taking you.
So I proceeded onward and realized that that way just wasn't going to work. I needed an alternate path forward. Of course, I had to tread carefully. Otherwise, I could, well, die. Luckily, I found a cave, and as I made my way back to the bridge, I saw something that concerned me. It was a long burning fuse, and it was moving fast as hell. I had to catch it. Not reaching it in time would have been unfortunate. The burning fuse was so damn quick, I had to run like the wind. I almost had it, but no. Thought I was gonna have a coronary when I lost sight of those sparks. My heart was pounding like a sledgehammer. Get off the bridge! Get off the bridge! I knew that failure meant boom. Then, finally, at the last moment. Whew. Of course, I was successful, or clearly I wouldn't be talking to you folks here today. Naturally, I removed the last dynamite charge. Well, it was a touching reunion. But by this time, I was thoroughly exhausted and dragging my ass as I was not a young man anymore. I hope you understand how badly my adventure might have ended had I not been as careful as hell. It's truly amazing I've made it this far in life, considering how many times I've danced with death.
Kill that SOB! Make him bleed!
Send him to perdition!
Finally, I found those boys. Or more precisely, they found me.
Bracer and Kid Curry, ask me!
Nuttier than a damn...
Just when I thought things couldn't get worse, Kid Curry opened up on me with a goddamn Gatling gun. It was hidden in this tunnel and pretty well shielded.
Yeah, you know you can't beat...
Shit, I gotta reload?
Luckily, I had located some
Sounds
dynamite.
like a dead.
I still, however, had my work cut out for me.
Guess you had enough, huh? It's not fair. This is the last mistake you'll ever make. Are you kidding me? Damn! God damn it, I need some help here. Come on, boys. Take this son of a bitch out. down and die. Stupid contraption! Are you kidding me? That smells like a kill you. God damn it, I need some help here. Come on, boys. Take this son of a bitch out. Like this cocksucker. Move it, boys. This is the last mistake you'll ever make. Come on!
You look like pissing me
You know
off.
who I am? Damn! What are you, yellow? Time for you to lay down and die. Ah! God damn it, I need some help here. Come on, boys. Make this son of a bitch your head smell like this cocksucker. Move it, boys. I'm with you. Are you kidding me?
If I'm going out, I'm taking you with me.
Shit!
If I'm dead, so are you. Death is...
Do you know who I am? Damn! You can't hide forever! You can't beat that bastard! Give me a hand here, goddammit!
Eventually, I brought that tunnel down. And that's when I met Kid Curry himself. He had decided to stop pussyfooting around and deal with me personally. fast as he was. I was just a bit faster. And as he lay wounded, I demanded to know the whereabouts of Roscoe Bob Bryant. He shouted at me. Is that what this is about? Bob went with Butch and Sundance to South America. You ain't never finding him. Those were his last words.
So, Bob Bryant got away?
Never find him in South.
What about the other killer?
Yeah, you kind of glossed over that one.
Well, I found Jim not long after my showdown with Ringo. At the time, he was riding with the James Younger gang. Did I neglect to mention that?
Jesse James? The greatest outlaw who ever lived?
Jesse and his kin rode with Quantrill when he raided Lawrence, Kansas, and killed near 200 people, boy.
Nothing great about that.
And from there, him and his brother went on to rob banks and trains from Kansas to Missouri.
Which is why there was such a rich bounty on their heads. 40 grand for both of them, dead or alive. That's one hell of a payday. I confronted them as they were robbing a train. Bullets were flying at me from every which way. but I knew I'd have to fight my way forward if I was gonna find this gem.
Now, wait a second. Now, how'd they stop this train in the first place?
Well, the James boys were experts at this. They hopped a freight train having heard there was a big payroll in the express safe. So I hopped the same train. The James Younger gang was decimated after that little fiasco they had in Northfield, Minnesota. So Jesse needed more men and took on the killer I was after, along with a host of others. I was hoping to find my man and put a bullet in his head. Climbing around that train, I must have swallowed 100 damn bugs before I
The
reached
James
that.
Younger gang pulled the first train robbery west of the Mississippi.
Sounds like you hold them in high regard.
Everyone knows they were the most famous outlaw gang ever.
And you took them all on by your lonesome. Again. I'm finding this all a little hard to swallow, friend.
Well, maybe you need to wash it down with some whiskey. By the way, did I mention that that train was flying down those tracks like a bat out of hell?
This asshole don't know who he's up against.
Anyway, excuse me, Ben. Where would I find the gentleman's facilities? Suddenly I have an urgent need to drain my one-eyed snake. Well, I've had more than a few drinks, and I've been sitting here for quite a spell.
Right through there. Let me show you. I never heard so much malarkey in my life.
You think he's bullshitting us?
You don't think he's Silas Greaves?
I think he's just some old drunk looking for some free liquor.
I don't know, Jack. I think I believe him. You don't think he met Jesse James?
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. That story makes no sense at all.
Jack.
I mean, you gotta be 2 bricks short of a load to believe that cock and bull story.
I don't agree.
Jack, lay off the
But you
boy.
seriously think that tired old man went toe-to-toe with Jesse James?
Well, that's better. Did I mention that this Jim was married to the infamous Belle Starr? Of course, I didn't learn that until later. Anyway, I made my way forward the best I could. Around the sides, over the roof. At some point, some sumbitch saw me and shouted out, "It's the damn Pinkertons!"
It's a damn Pinkerton!
Now, I never worked for that limey cocksucker, but I guess they assumed I was one of his assassins. Those evil bastards firebombed Jesse's mother's house and killed his stepbrother. So it's no wonder each and every asshole on that train wanted me dead.
Everybody's always mistaking you for somebody else, aren't they? Why is that, I wonder?
Don't rightly know, Jack. I'm just telling you how I remember it.
I bet you are.
You can't fight James, gang! Goddamn law dog! Come out, you yellow bastard! Show him how to die! Feel that, man!
It was a rickety ride and quite precarious.
Show yourself! You can't fight James, gang!
I came across a flat car piled high with logs and had to come up with a creative way to make my way forward.
I'll kill you!
I wondered if I was ever going to find the front of that train, or the bastard I was after. Jesse hired a damn army after Northfield. Guess he didn't want to be outgunned like that ever again. Right about then, I was attacked by some asshole on a Gatling gun.
Yeah, seems like you run into a lot of them.
Asshole?
Gatling guns.
Yes, I did. Now, I don't remember how I took it out. It was either a bullet or dynamite.
Where would you find dynamite?
Does it really matter, Jack? You're messing with the flow of the story here.
I'm putting you down! Yeah, and I gotta reload again! Time to die! outside, let's go. God damn, that was loud. Beat that son of a bitch. Assholes who can't shoot! You don't want to mess with us!
I was looking for Jim and shooting any son of a bitch stupid enough to get in my way. And that included Jesse James himself.
Can't hide forever!
Ready to meet your maker.
Huh?
I'm gonna blow your damn head off. Stop that. If I'm dead, so are you. I'm still standing. You just brought hell to me. Damn. Oh! Ready to meet your maker. I'm gonna cut you in two. Ah! You must like kissing me.
There sure were a lot of men determined to die that day.
Guess you've had enough!
Shoot that stupid son of a bitch!
Huh?
Come on!
Ah!
Huh? It was then that Jesse detached the express car from the rest of the damn train. could see Jesse waiting for me, fixing to kill me so he could get away with all that money.
You had a showdown with Jesse James?
Of course he didn't. Everybody knows that Jesse was killed by Bob Ford.
Yeah, Jesse went out like John Wesley Hardin. Coward shot him in the back of the head.
Guess it doesn't matter how far you run, does it, Ben? Your past always catches up with you.
You had a showdown with Jesse James?
Of course.
Yeah, Jesse went out like John Wesley Hardin. Coward shot him in the back of the head.
Guess it doesn't matter how far you run, does it, Ben? Your past always catches up with you. Yeah, I didn't kill Jesse James. Just wounded him bad enough to convince him to hang up his guns.
What about that Jim fella? What happened to him?
I figure he was up front with a gun to the engineer's head. That bastard slipped away again. I'll tell you how I got him. But first I need to wet my whistle. After my showdown with Jesse, I continued to track his brother, Frank, and that sumbitch Jim. I followed those bastards into the high mountains as they were going to ground.
What mountains would that be?
Somewhere in the Ozarks, I believe. Perfect place to hide out from the authorities. In fact, Before I could find them, some Indians who fled the Reds and were hiding out from the military found me first. They probably thought I was a cavalry scout and didn't want me telling the military where they were.
Injuns?
Yeah, they could have been Cheyenne, but there was all sorts of renegades roaming the landscape back then. Hey, how about another whiskey, Ben? Nothing better to soothe the troubled soul. Now, where was I? Indians, right. I had more than my share of run-ins with the redmen. Like that time... Did I tell you about Grey Wolf?
Yes, sir. You did.
Of course I did. In fact, I can still remember that old medicine man's words to me.
Jesus Christ, we're back to that again.
You carry great darkness in your heart. It will claim your soul. You will come to this place again and kill many more men. And the darkness will grow until it consumes everything you are.
So, did you ever find him?
Who?
The man you are after.
Let me ask you something, Ben. You ever think about death?
Mr. Greaves, are you all right?
Oh, death. Oh, death. Won't you spare me over till another year? What is this that I can't see with ice cold hands taking hold of me? Well, I am death, none can excel. I'll open the door to heaven or hell. Oh, death. Oh, death. Won't you spare me over till another Oh, Dell, won't you spare me over till another year?
So are you gonna answer the question?
What question is that?
Jim Reed. Did you ever find him?
Reed was indeed that son bitch's surname. That's right, Ben. A despicable character. I remember him laughing like a hyena that cold morning they lynched me and my brothers. He was intent on avoiding my vengeance, but nothing was gonna stop me. Nothing. I finally did track those outlaws down. They had long rifles with scopes and were well positioned to pick off any poor soul who came anywhere close. I'm guessing Frank James believed I was responsible for the demise of his brother Jesse. I couldn't really disagree with the man, as I thought Jesse was dead then as well. He backed off as I closed in on him, but he was still intent on killing me. And when I closed in on him again, he backed off again, looking for a better angle on me. Hell, I can't fault Frank for wanting his revenge, as I was there for the same damn reason myself. At this point, I'm guessing you think Silas Greaves is a worse murderer than Jim Reed ever was.
No, sir.
A man who spent half his life killing somebody's brothers, fathers, sons.
I think you were just looking for justice, sir. Isn't that why you were hunting the James gang?
The James gang. Right. I finally found Frank holed up in his mountain cabin, and he was determined to have me dead. It was a pitched battle that could have gone either way. Luckily, I had some dynamite in my possession.
Dynamite. On your person.
A few sticks, just in case. It's always good to be prepared.
Right.
I'm just laying out the facts as I remember them, Jack.
They got us afraid. And that son of a bitch! Ah! Oh, take him out! He's just one man! Put him down! I want that bastard dead! Death is coming for you. Just like pissing. Come on, he's only one man. You ain't seen the likes of me. Now I'm gonna hurt you bad. Come out from behind there.
That old shack? Well, it went tumbling right off that cliff.
With Frank James still in it?
Yes, sir.
But Frank James is still alive, living in Missouri, showing folks around the family farm for 25 cents a tour.
I didn't say he died in the fall, now did I?
I'm done with this damnable outlaw life. Kill me, don't kill me, do what you will. At this point, I just don't give a shit.
I explained to Frank that I had nothing against him personally and that I was looking for someone else.
You want Reed? Have at him. I never did like that bastard. I am done here.
We parted in peace as Frank pointed out the path to my prey before making his way back down the hill.
So what happened with Reed?
Well, I finally found the last of the gang hiding in a nearby cave. First, I had to dispatch the lookouts. As I was determined not to let that murderer escape my revenge again.
That's a good day to die.
But rather than wander in willy-nilly, I decided it would be better to smoke that sumbitch out. Hey, Reed! I shouted. No wonder you're so ornery. Can't be easy being married to Belle Starr. While you're off providing for the family, she's spreading her legs for every Tom, Dick, and Cole Younger. Not an attractive woman exactly, but very friendly. At least she was to me.
Son of a bitch!
It was then that the last bunch of bandits jumped out of hiding.
Why won't this asshole give up? Would someone please kill him?
Think he knows who we are.
Why won't this asshole give up? Would someone please kill him?
Don't let him through. Cover me. This asshole died.
Eventually, it was just me and Reed. I had waited a long time to face him down, so I could repay him for what he did to my brothers. And repay him I did. Well, I don't know about you boys, but I'm pretty beat.
Well, it's too damn bad you never found that Bob character. Seems a shame he never had to pay.
Well, funny thing about that, I did have one more chance at him. Six months ago, I heard that Butch and Sundance were back in the States and had gathered up some of their old gang. I tracked them down, hoping that Roscoe Bob Bryant had returned with them.
So you're saying they didn't die down in Bolivia?
That's what I'm saying. "40 years I had waited to get my hands on the last of my brother's killers. Not even an army of demons could have stopped me now.